One of the things that haunt people who are talking about, quote, new economic thinking and technology is the interface between this rivalry between the US and China, digital commerce platforms, and cybersecurity. And the story goes, these are my friends at MIT again talking, that if you set up a digital platform, it aggregates a lot of information. Hackers are able to use virtual private networks and disguise their identity and their whereabouts. So a hacker can be in Saskatchewan in Canada, hypothetically, pretend to be New York attacking Shanghai, or be in Armenia pretending to be Beijing attacking Washington, D.C.
That's right.
I've talked to leaders in both countries, very high leaders. They recognize that given all the other tensions and rivalry and scar tissue from history and potential for misunderstanding, that they do not have a way to verify. Let's say you make an agreement, we both pledge our trust to abide by the cooperative behavior. With the success and the presence of disguised hackers, you can't verify whether that's the case. And people are struggling now to try to figure out how to overcome this, because if you balkanize the internet and the trading systems, you're accelerating that polarization into competing systems. And I don't know how to answer that, but I think it's a fantastic question to be explored.
It is, you're absolutely right. And this is where one of my key recommendations in the book is that if you want to find solutions, there will be, of course, many challenges in the relations between the United States and China, not just in cyber security, it will be in law of the sea, maritime areas, and many, many other areas. The best solution is to look for multilateral solutions. And in the area of cyber security and cyber warfare, it's good to agree on one common set of rules. So I'll give you a simple example. You know, nowadays, with a good hacker can, in theory, unleash the waters of a dam, right? And then can you imagine the thousands of people who will die when the dams suddenly burst, right? So why not agree on one set of multilateral set of rules? At least agree on the rules first. Of course, implementing it, you're right, would be a challenge, but agree. We will never attack a dam. We will never attack a hospital. We will never paralyze the electricity of a city. We will never sort of thing. So you have at least common sets of areas where you agree, right? And of course, frankly, it will make perfect sense for an American military to hack into a Chinese destroyer. Of course, that's fair game, right? And then vice versa too. So that's fair game. But let's make sure you carve out areas and we say, in these areas you don't do anything. But of course, the interesting exception to all this, and as you know, since you're a monetary person, I point out that the real Achilles heel of the United States is the fact that the US dollar is the global reserve currency. And that, as you know, as the French then Finance Minister Valéry Giscard d'Estaing said, it's an exorbitant privilege. It enables Americans to live beyond their means. So it's in America's national interest to preserve the US dollar as the global reserve currency. But by weaponizing it, the United States has created incentives for countries to move away from the US dollar. And it is conceivable for China to use blockchain technology to create not necessarily a new monetary system, but just a platform that enables countries to trade with each other without having to use the US dollar. And the minute the US dollar is no longer the dominant currency in global trade, it can still, of course, remain strong in the financial spheres. But once the critical part of the system, where it's no longer essential for global trade, disappears, the US dollar becomes vulnerable. And if it is no longer a global reserve currency, then American standards of living will go down. And that's another example of where it is in the interests of the United States and China to work together.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Rob.